The age of anime remakes. I think anime remakes has been such a blessing to the anime industry. It has given certain manga that have been forgotten about a place in the modern age. Like for the anime, for instance, Red River. This anime hasn't came out since not this manga came out in 1995. It had not gotten a single anime adaptation, and the fact that it's finally getting one, and the fact that so many people, 2 million views, so many people are very excited, very ecstatic, which I'm very happy to see. I have never watched, I've never read Red River. I can't really say I can't really speak of my personal feelings with this, but I am very excited because again, more anime remakes. It's just been such a blessing. Like obviously, you can point to some very shitty anime remake, whether it comes to something like a Berserk. Berserk again, one of the worst remakes of all time. But I feel like for something like Berserk, you can do another remake and have it done justice. After the passing of this guy right here, I feel like it's the perfect day and age to do a really passion driven Berserk remake. People are still clamoring for that, and you would definitely have to capitalize on his memory and just really show respect to the work and the dedication this man put in. Like you have to have so much respect, to have so much passion, and I just think to honor his legacy and his memory because again, this anime has been such a staple in the manga industry, and for an anime to be of this quality, I think it's a damn shame. Truly, I do. And just, other than that, it's just the fact that we have been getting so many good anime remakes, and like Hitman Reborn. Hitman Reborn, this one particularly, I am still very excited to this day. Like Hitman Reborn, like I don't care, like it is still one of my favorite animes because Hitman Reborn, it's just one of those classic Shonen Jump anime, and for a possible remake that could pick up where the story left off and to have a complete beginning to end because the original anime it didn't complete it just kind of just stopped in the middle during the session arc with Byakuya. I can't remember his name. It started with the B, but regardless, the fact that we are potentially getting a Him and Reborn remake and modern in a modern animation, I think it could look really good, especially since I think a lot of people had complaints with the original that it did not have the best pacing. It really didn't have the best pacing. It didn't have the best filler, and I think if they're going to do a remake, they could probably go about it in a different way. Presuming that it's the same Studio Period, I have a lot of respect for. So if they're going to be doing something like this, I think it could potentially go well. And speaking of Studio Period, I think Fire Force. Fire Force is a great anime, obviously. A lot of people really have a lot of appreciation for Fire Force. But, oh, and this anime right here. And Shirley, go to anime. I think if you have not watched Anne Shirley, this remake right here does a really good job. Again, I highly implore you to watch Anne Shirley. But to bring upon my message, Fire Force, go to anime. Go to anime. It has plump, a widespread audience. Like it had on just Crunchyroll alone, it has such a big fan base, and it's on the final season. You would think it's on the final season, something like Soul Eater, right? Soul Eater, the fact that like Soul Eater is still popular to this day, and the fact that a lot of people do have complaints with how it ended, and I'm not going to spoil on how Fire Force ended, but I feel like and for the final episode for Fire Force, you could put a teaser for a potential Soul Eater remake. Because again, myself and other people worldwide have been clamoring for a Fire Force. Like it looked like even for today, even for today, I feel like the anime still looked good. Like genuinely, like the anime came out in what 2008. Like I can't remember when it came out, but like even for today, I think the anime looked great. Like genuinely, I think the anime it does hold up. Like I cannot wait for the potential remake if that ever does happen. And I can't remember who. I want to say no Studio Bones was the one who did this. But so Studio Bones come back. to do this anime, I would not be mad at that at all. I think that would be such a blessing to see a studio, whether it's Studio Bone or a very renowned studio, to handle a remake of this quality, because I think it genuinely does have a lot of potential. Like it is so like I'm very excited to see the potential of these remakes. Whether it's something like Ghost in the Shell, a lot of people are very excited for, myself included. I haven't watched Ghost in the Shell, but the style of it, it looks so unique. It looks so refreshing that I'm very excited to see the potential of this, or even something like Dragon Ball Beerus. Dragon Ball Beerus, I still have qualms for, but it doesn't look that bad. Even for an anime that isn't even that old. The anime is like what, like 10 years old, 11 years old for the first art. But even for an anime like this, that's not even that old compared to the more compared to the ones that came out in the '90s. This doesn't look good at. This looks pretty good. Like this, it genuinely does look more grandiose and more on a bigger scale. That I'm very excited for the potential of this, whether it's Dragon Ball Beerus, Dragon Ball Resurrection F, or even the Dragon Ball Future art, provided that they're doing all of the arcs of Dragon Ball all over again. And maybe you do have some qualms with that, where they could be spending resources on the next season of Dragon Ball instead of rehashing these old arcs. But for me personally, I am I'm still mixed, but I don't mind it. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm not as opposed to it as I was initially, but I do think if we're going to do a remake for Dragon Ball OG, Dragon Ball OG, I think that would go crazy. Like I love Dragon Ball OG a lot, but it does make but maybe at the same time it wouldn't do as well nowadays. Consider something like Dragon Ball Daima. Dragon Ball Daima, I love Dragon Ball Daima, but a lot of people, Dragon Ball Daima would have received the best, and it does make me wonder if OG Dragon Ball wouldn't be received as well worldwide. Now I know it probably would do really well in Japan because it's Kid Goku. Kid Goku's always going to do well in Japan. Like that's what started this grandiose franchise, and it just makes me wonder the possibility of a Dragon Ball remake or even a One Piece remake. One Piece again. I know I'm going all over the place, but you ain't going to tell me that One Piece remake ain't fire. Like you ain't going to tell me that. Like you ain't going to tell me the possibility of Studio Wit, and it really does show that a lot of people are genuinely are going to have a lot of eyes on this. Whether it's Hitman Reborn, whether it's One Piece, whether it's Dragon Ball, whether it's even something like God of War remake. God of War remake is another anime, another anime, a remake that a lot of people are very excited for. Again, in general, whether it's games, movies, or anime. While yes, there are a lot of bad remake in that industry, you could also point to some of the more good ones. And so like you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get until the final product comes out or until a trailer comes out for you to actually make up your mind. Now a lot of people are very skeptical about the possibility of God of War remake because of possible censorship, whether people are more worried about the adaptation of a remake of this quality or Ghost in the Shell or Rama or all these very different factors or even something like Red River. A lot of people are still skeptical of Red River, but again, I'm up to believe that I'd rather wait for the first episode or the first trailer or the first demo or beta, if you will, for anime, game, or manga, and that to I need to see it for myself. I don't really like being the one who is constantly pessimistic on remake. Now I know we have had bad experiences, whether it's something like Last of Us Part One remake, Last of Us Part Two, or even something like Horizon Zero Dawn, which didn't really need a remake. But like again, there are examples you could pull from both sides. So I feel like it's not really necessarily a fair thing to say that anime remakes are objectively bad because that's just not true. I would implore you to make up your own mind instead of listening to the opinions of others. That's really my message because again, There are some good ones, there are some bad ones, and it's up to you to choose what are the good ones in your personal opinion. But with that being said, guys, let me know what anime remakes are you excited for, or are you still pessimistic about the certain outcome of the anime remake in the modern day and age? Let me know all of that in the comments below.